Welcome back to Twice Upon a Time. This time, Roger and I watched Season 7, Episode 6, Wake Up Call. As always, we'll start off with a synopsis. In the other realm, Regina teaches Drizella how to tap into her magic so that she can escape her mother. But when Drizella learns that her mother needs her pure heart to save Anastasia, Drizella darkens her heart and vows to cast a hero-proof dark curse to bring her mother endless suffering. In Hyperion Heights, Lucy is convinced that the photo of Henry and Ronnie is real, and they decide to play into her delusion. After asking for help from Weaver, Ronnie discovers that Regina Mills really did adopt a baby in Boston, just like in Henry's book. Ivy, with a little help from the scary hostage lady, wakes up Ronnie so that Ronnie will help her prevent Henry and Jacinda from sharing true love's kiss. But why? All right, Roger, what'd you think of this episode?
Scary hostage lady.
Why doesn't she have a name?
That's one of the funniest descriptors, but also probably the only thing you can call her.
Yeah, she's somehow both terrifying and powerful, but also a hostage.
She's basically the government.
Sure.
Yeah. I liked this episode. I have some, I wouldn't call them minor qualms, but I have some issues with it. But I think the premise of this episode is another one of those things that when I think about season one, one of the few flaws I felt with it was that we didn't really do some of the things that we could have done. And this is learning from that mistake. Like, we dive into Regina, and then it's like, I think this is a better job at doing the mystery as like a plot throughout the entire season, as opposed to mystery. All of the conclusion is jammed into the final, 4 episodes.
Or introducing a mystery and solving it in the same episode, like 3B.
Oh. Yes. So in that regard, I really enjoyed it. Look, anytime Regina's the focus of an episode, I'm usually going to be happy. So I'm going to say it's not beauty good, but good episode. You?
Yeah, I liked this episode. I have 2 qualms that are pretty big things that don't really make me not... Well, one of them sort of would have... The episode would have been better with it, but...
with it.
Yeah, or without. Yeah. But I did... It was very enjoyable. I am invested in this mystery. I want to know what's up. I thought both Lana Parrilla and I do not know the actress that plays Ivy Drizella, but I thought they were both very good in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also... A revenge curse again. I don't... Well, the dark curse again. I guess we shouldn't really be surprised.
The dark curse again, I guess, is my issue. A revenge curse, fine. The dark curse part 5? Regina. Snow. Pan. Hook. Ivy.
Yep. Is that it?
I
think that's right.
That's too many.
It's too many.
That's just... Like, look, Pan, Regina, fine. Those were nice, like, bookend conclusions. Maybe we throw the Snow one in as a mystery. But, come on, find a new slang at some point. Like, I think everything you said is totally valid on that one. This actually ended up making me ask a lot of questions, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, but I'm definitely like, but wait, if this is true, and some of the questions I can't really ask on camera because I have some future knowledge, but like, we talked about them during the episode, I was like, well, if that happened, this doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
Which is fine, we'll talk about those later when we get there. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with... I don't know. Let's start with Hook and Tilly.
Okay.
Sorry.
So B plot?
Rogers and Tilly.
Yeah. I would call that the B plot, right?
Yeah.
Because Ronnie is the A plot in this. Ronnie and Henry.
And I guess the flashback is so tied into the...
That's also the A plot.
It's the A plot, yeah.
Okay, so Rogers and Tilly. Well, Rogers, I guess we open up with... I'm just going to call him Rumple now that he's awake.
Sounds good.
Is basically saying, you're going to do some errands for me, but then he decides to enlist Tilly to help him with his cold case.
Yeah, so
And
I want to know what's going to happen that he didn't do the errands that we
Did
were asked
he give him any errands? Or I thought he said, I will have some errands for you. I don't think he actually...
He didn't make an assignment.
Yeah, like he's just basically telling him, be ready. I think the chemistry between those two is fantastic.
Tilly and Rogers? Yeah, I agree.
They just play off each other very well. I really like Tilly. Like she does a good job of being a new character, but I'm invested in her. Like not every new character do I particularly care about, but I'm intrigued by her, and I always go, ooh, I want to know more.
Yeah.
I think she also does like a good job of, I think she's the right age. So oftentimes we've dealt with very young children, which like Henry, it was fine. But like now I kind of like that, like Tilly is a child, but she's not like a young, precocious, helpless child. Like she is an older teenager, if not maybe...
Yeah, I think she's probably like 20.
She also could be 16. Like she's somewhere in that range, like because she gives me Street Rat vibes, Sherlock's assistant vibes. Like she is a very young adult to older teenager.
Sherlock's assistant?
Not assistant, like his Street Rats that he has, like the people that he goes to.
I was like, Watson? He's a doctor.
I think Watson would like being called his assistant, to be fair. Also, I think if Sherlock were to say his assistant, he would probably say it's, who's the cop?
Lestrade.
Lestrade is his assistant. 100% that's... Because Sherlock would say it in front of Lestrade just to piss him off.
Yeah, for sure.
So I like kind of what Tilly adds to the show. I also like that she kind of made him think about it differently.
Yeah.
Now, that leads to, hey, Rogers, bruh. Okay, here's just a general rule of life. Dark, scary room, body on the floor. You have two choices. Go in, don't go in, get some backup.
Or at least call for backup before you go in.
Hey, Weaver, I'm going in. Can you head over here? I think some bad shit has happened.
I actually was having a thought about... I love the idea that we're being inclusive about his disability of only having one hand. But it actually, for a detective, might not be the safest because you can't, use a phone and hold a gun at the same time.
Is he incapable of using that hand?
He does sort of use it, but I guess maybe we're meant... I don't know, because if you think about how the other...
Like, Hook could use his hook.
He could, but it's almost like he has like a prosthetic hand that works.
Yeah.
But not as well as a real hand. But is that a real thing? I don't think so. Because you can have people have the hooks that don't look like Hook's hook, but are you can pull things on them and it
grabber.
It does stuff.
I've seen the animatronic hands.
But I don't understand. I don't think, other than in science fiction, that there is currently a way that you can think about using your hand and then your hand will work.
The only way you could accomplish that is if there was magic.
It's true.
Which, in this case, could just be true. Now, we've not seen him do anything that implies one way or the other, so I don't know. He keeps it gloved.
Yeah.
I wonder also does he actually have use of his hand and he doesn't even remember that he doesn't.
I don't know.
It actually would make more sense that the curse would give him his second hand because part of his identity is not having the hand. Right? So, think about how, in the episode where Rumple gives him his hand back and he starts turning into a bad man. So, it kind of makes sense that she would give him the hand to be you're not even who you remember.
I guess that's true. And maybe they gave him a hand, but it's, injured in some way, so it, doesn't work quite as well as...
So it's probably a weaker, we all have muscle imbalance and dominant sides, but...
But I definitely had that thought when he, burst into... Well, my first thought was you should have made a phone call before you went in, but when he, found the man lying on the ground, I was like, oh, you should call someone, and then I was like, oh, but then you have to lower your gun.
Well, and also, that's the man that he arrested.
Yep.
Who then made a phone call to who I assumed was Belfry, but I didn't know.
Uh-huh.
And now he's dead.
Yep.
So that's interesting.
It's not good.
No. And that's kind of the end of Roger's subplot for this episode.
Yeah, and I guess it was a B plot in this episode, so fine, but his search for this missing girl is really, really slow.
Well, also, he knows a ton about her.
Because he has that journal.
Okay. And her name is...
Eloise Gardner.
Yeah.
Yeah. His plot is pretty short. I want to go back to Tilly for a second.
Yeah.
I also think that we often talk about this Hook as if he is the same person, and he's not. He's not the same person as the Hook that we know. I mean, he was up to a point, but he has had different experiences.
His path forked at some point.
But you can see when he walks into that place that Tilly lives, he is like, he looks visibly sad that that's where she lives.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of like a nice, like, he has an affection for this girl that he, like, plays chess with and tried to murder his partner.
So, remind me where they forked again?
Regina never cast the curse, so he never... he, like, couldn't find a way to get his revenge on Rumple, so he sort of stopped pursuing it.
So this Hook is just a better person than the other Hook.
Sure.
Because he actually worked on, like... Because, like, the other Hook, we did acknowledge, like, never really let go of his disdain for Rumple.
Yeah.
Like, he did want to kill him still in 6, whereas, like, this Hook just gave up and just said, like, it's not worth it, and then, I think, had a child that he can't get back to?
Yes, because he told Emma that when
she saved him,
and he gave her... His heart is poisoned, and he can't be with his child.
Yeah. So, like, this Hook is just a better man.
Yeah.
Which, so, like, it does kind of make sense that this Hook would have, like, a level of empathy that maybe the other Hook... And the other Hook wasn't, like, devoid of empathy. Like, I'm not trying to imply he was the darkness, but, like, this Hook worked on his shit.
Yeah.
By force. Like, he didn't choose to do it.
Which is actually making me realize, like, we haven't gotten a flashback about him and the time that we don't know about. Really.
Yeah, the alternate path for Hook. His will be interesting because, you know, I've always, we used to argue about this, and I was like, well, you take away Emma, Hook is still Hook. And then we see in, like, 3B at the beginning where he just goes back to pirating, or, like, you know, he backslides pretty quickly. Whereas, like, I don't think this new Hook or Rook or whatever we want, or what do we settle on? Nook. New Hook. There was no backslide because there was, like, nowhere to go. Like, he had to forge a new path. So I would be very curious to see what he did.
I mean, he became a sad, lonely drunk.
Well, that was Hook. Though.
Yeah.
He was a sad, lonely drunk. So there's a lot of Hook that is still Hook.
Sure,
like,
of
Hook,
course.
This Hook still lost his brother.
Your childhood experiences or young adult experiences definitely shape you very profoundly.
Well, I guess what I mean, though, like, think about the things that we learned about Hook. Like, this Hook still didn't get the closure with his brother the other Hook did. Mm-hmm. So he still views what he doesn't know that his brother did that bad thing.
Yeah.
He still looks at his brother as the hero, and
he
was the irresponsible drunk. So, like, there may be some differences in how they view things.
That makes sense.
And then, of course, he never experienced the whole acceptance from the Charmings. Did he never find his father also?
Probably not, because Regina got caught at some point, and she was the one that, like, assigned him to kill his father.
So, like, there's a lot
But at the time, I'm
it could have been before
or
after, yeah.
Yeah.
He may or may not have ever worked for Peter Pan, may or may not have encountered the Lost Boys, may or may not have encountered Neil. Like, there could be a pretty large divergence when it comes to these two.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very interesting when it comes to Nook. But... You're right. We do talk about them as if they're the same because they're literally physically played by the same person.
For sure. Okay, where should we go next?
I mean, I feel like all we have left is the A plot.
Yeah.
Unless you want to talk about Tilly some more.
No.
Okay. One. I said this when we were watching. You can tell Lana is hot when she can pull off two very different looks and be smoking in both of them.
That leather outfit that she wears in the other realm is so great. And I think we talked about this before, but I really like how they, like, found costuming for her that isn't, like, scary evil queen, but also isn't, like, princess.
What's funny to me is that she reminds me... This is an outfit that I would imagine her wearing when her and Robin, if they had gone on adventures.
Yeah, sure.
Like, this is, you know... She's not Maid Marian, obviously, but, like, the two of them doing their thing, like, this is what she'd be wearing while he's Robin Hood, and they're, like, partners in crime.
Yeah.
And so, like, now she's kind of just, like you said, she's not a fairy tale princess waiting for her tower, but she's not the scary evil queen. But this woman comes over and screams, "Get away from my son." Projects a fireball and just leaves that shit hanging. Like,
I I appreciated what they were trying to do with the scene of,
Yeah.
like, she's, like, letting Henry handle it, but she's, like, there just in case. But I just can't imagine these ruffians coming over, seeing some lady make a fireball, and then being like, yeah, I'll just keep fighting these people.
Look, if the mother of the man I'm trying to rob shows up and projects a fireball, I'm running.
Yeah.
Like, we're not... I don't give a damn what the plan was. We didn't factor in a variable that mommy is here and can throw a fireball. Leave.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, okay, I know that this is a different realm. This is not as a disconnected of a realm as maybe I thought, and maybe we have talked about, because they know too much about each other. Rumple knows things about Lady Tremaine. He's heard tales. Lady Tremaine knows that Henry is the heart of the truest believer. Like, there's too much intermingling when it comes to knowledge for them to not know each other. They know too much.
Yes, I agree. I don't know how long Rumple has been here.
Like, Regina knows Drizella. I know they had that one encounter before.
Yeah.
But they know each other. Like, this was not like oh, you again. It's like, yeah, we've met.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, it's really easy to travel between realms.
I mean, if portals are opening the way that they do now,
Yeah.
this actually does make sense. That, like, it's just like getting on a plane and going to a different country.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that weird. Let's talk about Drizella first.
Okay.
Do you think when Drizella grabbed the flower that was bait, or she was in danger?
The flower.
That was about to eat her, at least the way it was presented.
Oh.
But we find out at the end of the episode that she can control plants, thus the name Ivy.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that she is a very convincing actress. Like the character is a very convincing actress. 'Cause it seemed... I do think that she genuinely wanted to escape her mother, because she did not come up with the idea to darken her own heart.
Not
until
initially.
until Regina showed her the
But
mirror.
I do think she knew Regina was there and needed Regina's help.
Yeah.
And I do think that's
Definitely.
the kind of situation you put yourself in to get Regina to feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
So I don't think she was ever in danger of that plant eating her. I think she was in control of the plant.
Yeah.
Because she could, like, she said she had no magical ability, like she had never cultivated, and she picked it up pretty quick.
Yeah. Which we've seen a few other times in this show. Like Emma.
Emma's training went for days, though.
Yeah. Well, and Regina knows how to unlock. I actually thought it was really interesting because there's a scene in maybe season 4?
4A, where she has to force Emma to save them when they're falling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, but she does it. She makes Emma fall.
Yeah.
Regina is standing on the side of the thing. And in this situation, she makes the stuff fall on herself.
Yeah.
And so that Drizella will save her, which is like it is like an interesting, like, Regina's character has changed.
Well, Regina, the first time, was doing what Rumple did, which is,
Yeah.
I'm putting you in danger, you better save yourself. This time, she's like, oh, I'm going to put myself in danger, let's see if you can stop. And also, Regina can save herself.
Right. Which is interesting, actually, because, I mean, I know we have a lot of, especially you, have a lot of feelings about Emma, but she is the savior, and she definitely has a savior complex. Like, I think it would even be more instinctual for her to save someone else than to save herself. So it's not like... I'm just saying that it may have been more effective if Regina had put herself in danger than putting Emma in danger to teach her something.
Oh! Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that one. I think that's more about where Regina was as a person, as opposed to... Like, yeah, logically, putting Emma in the Drizella situation would probably unlock it faster. Though... If you're not 100% sure how Emma feels about you, then, maybe not.
Yeah. I don't remember. I think so.
I don't think it is, because I think they're beefing at that point. Because at that point, Emma
They
has
are.
brought back Marion.
Maybe it's 3B?
During the Wicked stuff?
Yeah.
Could be.
I don't know. Anyway.
That was a confusing
Unimportant.
time.
But yeah, I thought that was like a really interesting character insight. And you can see why Regina feels like a compassion for Drizella. Like her.
Because it's the core story.
Yeah.
The other thing that's interesting is that, like, did Drizella know this about Regina? Like, Drizella seems very manipulative.
Yeah.
So it does, and Regina is known. The story of Cora is not completely unknown. It's not unreasonable that Drizella discovered, oh, Regina's got a bad mommy. Let me play into our similarities and get her to do what my mom won't do for me so that I can do what I need to do. This does seem right up Drizella's alley.
Yeah.
I don't know if she knew that or not, but I think she must have known something.
Well, and imagine finding out that your mother wants to take your heart and murder you to revive her favorite child. Like that, and the look of pain on Drizella's face when she learns that, like, could not be faked.
Yeah, so it's interesting in that, when I've said it before, like, and you've talked about it too, it's like the parents in a lot of these stories are awful.
Yeah.
Boy, this is the first time in which Cora doesn't feel like the worst mom on the planet. Like, for all the evil that Cora did, I never really thought Cora was going to sacrifice Regina.
No.
To bring somebody else around.
I certainly think that she was willing to cause Regina a lot of pain because she thought it was best.
She truly, in her mind, believed I am tough. So it's a twisted form of abuse, and it's extremely abusive, and it's wrong. But in her twisted mind, she really believed this is what was best for Regina because the world is a cold, hard, dark place, and the only thing that matters is power.
Yeah.
Lady Tremaine doesn't give a shit about Drizella.
Yeah.
She is a pawn to be used and sacrificed to save her baby, which is fucked up.
It's really fucked up.
It actually does a good job of showing that, like, Lady Tremaine is evil. Like, there is no... Which now makes this a weird scenario. Because normally, villain versus hero. Drizella is evil.
Yeah.
But am I supposed to be mad at her for being angry at maybe the most vile character in the show?
Yeah, it is. I don't think that you need to be mad at her for that. I think it's valid to be mad at her that she hates this woman so much that she doesn't care about what happens to anybody.
Sure. Totally valid.
Like, I'm going to cast a dark curse so that I can make this woman suffer. All of you will suffer too. That's fine.
That would be insane to cast a dark curse to make one person suffer. Which is one of my disappointments with this episode, is that we just redid the same
for sure.
fucking story. Though I will say, so I always thought Regina's reaction to Snow was just so outsized and ridiculous because the person who hurt you was Cora.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure I disagree with her outsized reaction wanting to make Tremaine suffer. This is the appropriate reaction. It's that she's willing to hurt everyone else. But, like, wanting to make her suffer feels fair.
Well, and not defending Regina's actions in any way. Yeah. But Regina was more famous than Drizella. Like, she was a queen that, like, knew a lot of people.
Yeah.
And she felt that all of those other people had slighted her as well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they deserved what they got or that they did anything.
Because they chose Snow White over her.
Yes.
Yeah. But, like, Regina's felt more just pure insanity. Like, it felt like projection. You're taking your anger out on what your mother did to you against Snow White, so you blame Snow for telling a secret to the person who murdered Daniel.
Yeah.
This anger feels not misplaced. This feels appropriately placed rage. That you're willing to sacrifice me to save your favorite child. That is so beyond fucked up.
It's really fucked up. And the thing that I'm struggling with is based on track record of trying to redeem villains. Are we going to redeem both Drizella and Lady Tremaine? Like, what's going to happen?
I don't know.
And what did Drizella do to hero-proof this curse?
Yeah.
So that Regina is going to help her not break it.
The other thing that I'm confused about is that if the beef is really supposed to be between these two, then how does Jacinda tie in? Like, Jacinda did the thing that caused Anastasia to go down, and instead of just, like, couldn't she just sacrifice Jacinda to do this?
I don't know. And I don't understand. The rules of how a curse is broken are weird.
They change from curse to curse.
Yes. because, like, in the first curse, the true love's kiss occurred between Emma and Henry.
Had to be the savior.
But, like,
and if she died, it broke. Because that was the weird... Regina couldn't just outright kill Emma.
And, like, I guess it's... If other true love's kisses occur, it doesn't work?
Well, yeah, because remember, like, Snow and Charming kiss and nothing happens.
And is that because they didn't remember? So they aren't truly in love? Because David and Mary Margaret were having some issues.
Yeah, but not at the point in which they kissed.
Sure. Well, no. When he's cheating on his wife with Mary Margaret?
Yeah, but they weren't having issues. Like, he was doing a bad thing, but, like, they were still very much in love.
But then in the second curse, Regina was the one that had to...
Snow's curse?
Kiss Henry, yeah. Like, why wouldn't Snow and Charming kissing him?
Actually, Snow's curse was... The True Love's kiss, that was to restore Henry's memories.
Oh, you're right.
That wasn't to break the curse.
What broke it?
It wasn't the same type of curse. It was never broken. All it was that they lost their memories.
Huh. And then...
They restored their memories somehow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it was a little different. And then Hook's curse was... So that's the thing. I guess the dark curse, the way Regina was trapping them in something. The other curses going forward, ignoring Pan's, were about erasing your memory and transporting you, but they weren't like trapped as different people. This is the first true return to we are trapping you in a place as a different person.
Yeah. I guess what I'm actually asking is, which is part of the question of like, what the hell is this hero-proof curse? But like, what do Jacinda and Henry have to do with this curse?
My guess would be so I'm thinking very much like the sleeping curse, right? The way the evil queen got around it was you can't wake each other up because one of you will always be asleep. Mm-hmm. So that's how, boom, you can't break it with True Love's curse. If the curse is the only way you can break it is you two die. So if you do execute True Love's kiss, the fail-safe kill switch is you both die. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So you have to be willing to sacrifice yourself.
Yeah.
Which obviously, because that's or at least maybe Henry has to die. Like the only way, and it actually makes sense from a Drizella standpoint to say, Regina, you are not going to let Henry be a hero and kill himself for this. Mm-hmm. So I'll make it so that you will make sure this doesn't happen. Now, if that's true, I have questions because now, if I'm Regina, I'm just waking Henry up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's figure out how to find a way around this. But like, I'm going to wake him up. And I'm probably going to, at this point, wake up Rumple. Like, I'm going to find a way to wake up Rumple. The one person who can find a loophole is Rumple.
I love the idea that in this episode, Rumple is awake and Ronnie asks him to find out information about herself that he knows is about her. And then he just gives it to her.
Yep. For a favor.
For a favor. But he's just like, Okay.
Yeah, it is interesting. So this kind of plays into my theory that I've had a long time where, like, if you think about how Rumple acts right now in Season 7, he's awake. He's pretending to be not awake, but he's awake. He is acting the exact same way the Rumple of Season 1 acts. Which is... Now, granted, he is awake once he hears the Emma Swan name, so that does make sense. But, like, when we see the flashbacks, even though he is asleep, he acts as if he knows something you don't know. So he must have built himself some sort of knowledge.
But he does, in Awake.
He does show asleep. That we have to go back under.
Yeah.
Again, though, it's not unfathomable that he forces them to go under because he doesn't trust they have the patience to do what needs to be done, and he puts himself under, but he's probably awake the whole time. Because it's also weird that how did he know to even pop up right next to where Emma was? At the very first pilot episode.
Good question.
He
was collecting his rent.
Yeah, but he wasn't there. So he just popped up magically?
What do you mean?
Like, it was just a conversation between Granny and Emma, and then Rumple almost like poof appeared. With no magic, so it's not like he could just, poof. Anyway, we've gone round and round. Drizella is an interesting character because she's like this weird villain who you feel sorry for, but also detest.
Yeah.
Which is where Regina got to, let's say season 2, right? Like, Regina's awful, and then you see the Cora. Drizella is like a strange thing, and then now I'm like, now Victoria/Tremaine feels cartoonish again.
Yeah.
Like, they actually almost like backslid from the growth that we've had a little bit. Now I'm just like, maybe this should have just been like a Cruella. Well,
I'm pretty sure that the next episode is Lady Tremaine's flashback, so hopefully that will be helpful.
I mean, hopefully it tells us either her back... But honestly, even if I get a backstory of hers, then like Mommy Dearest for her was bad, I don't know that I give a shit. Like, I actually need to see what the hell happened to your daughter.
Yeah.
And why do you hate Drizella so much?
Yeah.
Like, they've done a weird job of positioning, I guess.
Agreed.
Let's actually talk a little bit more about Victoria, unless you have more you want to talk about Drizella.
No.
So we start, the first interaction is she's got a migraine. I'm assuming Drizella caused that migraine with the sugar. The only reason they would talk about that is that she absolutely put in the aspartame.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then those flowers were sitting there the whole time?
Yeah, I was a little confused about the flowers, because those are the flowers that they grew in the community garden, and it's kind of funny that Victoria has them in her office. Especially because they're Jacinda's favorite flowers.
So she actually took them to just hurt Jacinda.
I guess, but like there's a lot of them, so I don't. But like, why did Ivy need those flowers from Victoria's office? Could she not have just gotten other flowers from the community garden or from anywhere?
Well, I think it was the flowers trigger whatever disables Victoria. She says something like, I know these flowers cause you problems.
Pollen.
The pollen. Let me remove them.
Right, but like, why did she need to do this whole thing? Why couldn't she have just gotten different flowers? And
she needed Victoria out of the way.
You asked a question that I think was a very good question. Scary hostage lady uses magic.
Yeah.
And there's no magic here.
Land without magic.
Drizella does say, which feels like a convenient like plot armor, that like, no, I just needed, this was just a little bit. This is the only magic that's here.
Which, okay, we like in the first season, even in Land Without Magic, there's like little bits of magic still in Storybrooke. So that makes sense. Like, I'm okay with it bottled, but...
Objects.
Yeah. Scary Hostage Lady uses magic. Like, she makes it grow. And I'm like, well, hold on a second. If you have magic, there's another magic user here who should have it in Rumple, and Regina should now have it.
Yeah.
But Regina clearly doesn't have it because she goes to choke out Drizella immediately.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck's going on here?
Don't know. But yeah, that was astute. I'm sure you are right that Ivy drugged Victoria.
She had to have drugged.
Or just gave her.
She intentionally kept her off the chessboard.
Also, the idea that Victoria eats real sugar is bananas.
I mean, skinny bitches love sugar. Like, I believe she doesn't eat carbs, but I 100% believe sugar is like the... Like alcohol, like I bet she drinks alcohol.
Sure.
And fruity drinks and, fancy ass cocktails. Yeah, I don't know where they're going with Victoria. Because, and I almost feel this way, I said this in the past with the Charmings, with the baby episode, or like Regina when she goes too far. There's a point where you get a person too far where like, I don't want to see a redemption story.
Yeah.
If you're honestly trying to sacrifice your kid, there's no coming back from that.
Yeah.
Like, if Regina had gotten to the point where she was willing to kill Henry, I wouldn't be willing to forgive you. If Emma was trying to kill... Like, there are just some lines you can't cross. And I would argue Zelina has crossed that line and Regina has crossed that line. But those characters are both dead. Like, it's not okay, but, like, we just killed them to solve the problem. What are we doing with Victoria? Because she's not... Like, if she's going to be this evil, and we're just going to say that she is just heinous and vile, and I'm okay with that, then let's just let her play it up the way Cruella did and just have her be heinous and vile and evil. Don't give her the sympathetic, I'm trying to wake my daughter up story.
Well, and there's a really interesting...
And is she not cruel to Anastasia?
Right. I don't know.
Because the Golden Child Syndrome is a real thing. Like, a lot of people with siblings can tell you that. So, like, if that's the case, then that story's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Does she actually treat Anastasia with love, affection, and caring, and then Drizella is just... the Cinderella of the story?
Well, and we've had some questions, but in this episode we well, I guess it's not entirely definitive because we still haven't seen the curse cast, but Victoria did not cast this curse.
I didn't cast this curse.
Yeah.
But Victoria's awake. That's the other thing that's
I
off.
think that Victoria's curse is to think that she cast it.
Oh, to give her the... But that's interesting because giving her the illusion of control allows her to move things around to break the curse. Or find what she's looking for. Unless the fact is that what she's looking for she can never find.
Yeah, or...
Like she just found Anastasia.
Well, but why would she want to break the curse? If she thinks that she did the curse on purpose, she wouldn't want to.
Never want to break. But she wants...
She wants to wake up Anastasia.
But if, like, you're trying to make her suffer, why would you let her find the golden child? Like, that's her suffering right there. You're never going to find your daughter.
I guess, I mean, this is... I mean, we do not need to get into a debate about revenge, but I think from Drizella's perspective, it's more painful for it to be so close, but you can't get it, than to just have her be missing. Because that gives you hope that you might find her. Yeah,
I mean, I will say, when we have looked at past people's revenge, Regina does this with Snow and Charming. Snow, you can see Charming, but you're never going to wake him up because he's in a coma. But then, like, the Black Fairy just has Belle gone. Like, we're not going to keep her nearby. Like, she's
she was nearby.
No, she's gone. Rumple thinks she's gone. Like, doesn't find her, doesn't know where she's at, and then she's like a recluse hermit. And like the Pan's curse force Henry. Like, usually we are going to separate you from the thing you love.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. Maybe giving her hope, but it's not real. It's false hope is the curse. Also, just fucking kill her. Yeah. Doesn't that just solve the problem? You're never waking her up because I fucking killed her.
Yeah. I mean we don't know very much about how Drizella feels about Anastasia.
Oh, no. I mean Victoria.
Oh, you kill Victoria.
Kill Victoria. Because, maybe she doesn't hate her sister.
Yeah.
But she does hate Victoria.
Yep.
Or, really the play? Sacrifice Victoria for Anastasia.
So this kind of ties into... Ronnie has been, pushing Henry to date Jacinda, and now she's got to pull back on that idea.
I always wondered why.
He was pushing?
Why she was pushing him to date her.
I think that Ronnie saw that he felt something for her, and she wants him to be happy. Because just like in the first curse, she doesn't know she's his mother, or didn't until today.
Yeah.
But
the maternal instinct is still there. But we talked about this in one of the previous episodes, where it's you have a much better, because at one point it looks like him and Ivy might start hooking up, which does she just distrust Ivy so much she doesn't think he can be happy with her?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Which, fair.
Valid. In retrospect, good mothering instincts.
I love that scene where Ronnie just grabs a baseball bat.
My first is Ronnie grabs a baseball bat in rage. This is not... But the funny thing is, that is such a classic Regina move. I am pissed the fuck off. I am going to attack you head on. I'm not planning shit. I'm not thinking about it. You have done something to me. But instead of having magic, she grabs a baseball bat. What was she going to do?
Yeah.
Great.
I also like the little Easter egg about the Lady and the Tramp with the pizza. But I just had another thought about that, which is really cute. Henry loves pizza.
Henry loves pizza.
And he and Ronnie shared that, which is kind of sweet.
He loved the pizza. I meant New York. Oh.
Yeah. We also get some Henry being really awkward and attempting some John Hughes shit up in here.
Okay, so we've discovered this before in Camelot, that Henry is not very smooth with the ladies. I'd like to point out that Henry's father was Neil. Henry's grandfather is Prince Charming.
You just go up and you just talk to them, and they'll be charmed by you, obviously.
I find it impossible to believe that this boy struggles with this. This is absurd. Your grandfather... You know what Prince Charming's pickup line was? Hey. That's it. He didn't have to say anything else.
Yeah. Well, and Emma's got some problems because of her walls, but she's no slouch either. Lots of attractive men really into Emma.
I mean, usually we don't talk about a woman picking up because that's not a thing, but she's an attractive woman, and a lot of attractive men seem to be drawn to her. And also, it's not like his dad was bad at this thing. He picked up Emma He picked up Emma while asleep in the car that she stole. I'm trying to figure, like, if we talk about, like, hereditary, game has to be hereditary for Henry here. Nope, not there.
Yeah.
Maybe his curse is to be awkward. Like, even David Nolan, cursed, still had charm.
He did. I don't know.
It's weird. It's very weird.
I actually didn't write down very many things that I didn't like in this episode, but still, God, Lucy is so annoying.
So I have 3 things. The first one is, you know what it is? So, and it's been a while since we watched season 1, but I recall Henry was more crazed, if that makes sense, when he was trying to convince Emma that this was real, and he was just like determined, right? Like, he was like, no, this is the curse, and da-da-da-da-da, but he didn't default to whiny. Mm-hmm. He was just more or less, he was almost maniacal. So, like, if you didn't believe him, you would think he needed to be committed, and he's crazy. Yeah. So when they had that conversation, he looks crazy. Lucy immediately drops into whiny. Yeah. So, like, when the adults don't listen to her, she's like, but no, it's true! And you're like, oh, can you, like, not do that?
Well, and then Ronnie tries to listen to her, and she's like, but why do you believe me now? Why?
I think it was, like, them trying to convey that this is too good to be true, you're tricking me, honestly. Sure. But she doesn't pull that off very well.
Oh, the look on Ronnie's face when Lucy hugs her, though.
That was adorable.
So sweet.
Was adorable.
Also, man, being cursed with the knowledge that you tried to adopt a baby and then they said you couldn't have one.
Yeah, well, so, because that's playing off of Regina's biggest fear, was that she wasn't going to be a good enough mother for Henry.
Yeah.
So that is a fucked up curse to be like,
because
really basically now when she goes to adopt Henry, they said, no, thank you, you're not a good fit.
Yeah.
That's some dark shit. Drizella must really hate Regina to do that to her.
Yeah.
Like, so this is, I guess my question is, and maybe this will never get answered, is the curse the, like, handiwork of the person who does it? Or does the curse simply itself play on your darkest fears and you are cursed to be your worst version of yourself?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because we looked at it as, like, Regina did this to everyone, which she did indirectly by casting it, but I don't know that she sat down like an author and said, Mary Margaret will be, you know, Snow White will be this Mary Margaret Weed character, and David will be this philanderer, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Like, I think she just said, fuck them up.
Well, also, because, like, it's, like, sort of hard, because, like, who is the author of the curse? The person that cast it? Or, like, they always called it Rumple's curse, but it was actually the Dark Fairy. Like, she created the curse, and then Rumple had it, and he wanted someone to cast it. And I always
thought it was Regina's curse, because Regina, like, when
she's the one that actually cast it, yeah.
Snow, they call it Snow's curse, so, like, it is... Like, I always assume the person who cast it is the author of the curse, essentially. But Rumple had something to do with it. Like, Rumple and Regina, to be fair, teamed up to do it, so maybe that's a little bit of a different scenario. But in this case, Drizella doesn't know that much about Regina.
I mean, she didn't cast the curse in this episode, so we don't know.
It does seem like she is the person who just... But she did make the decision, like, I am going to go do this.
Yeah.
Would you call her angry, captive, hostage?
The
person
lady?
in the tower.
Angry? Yeah, she's angry. Yeah, okay. Sure. But she's also scary. You forgot the scary word.
Let's go scary, captive, hostage. I like that better. Yeah, this is they have left us in a weird spot in a way that I don't know that I've ever been left in before, which I guess is kind of a good thing.
Yeah. So
Lucy, bad. My second dislike. Jacinda and Henry can't be together ultimately because of the curse. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you try to redo the Charming Sleeping Curse without the charm of the Charmings. Mm-hmm. It works when you see Snow and Charming can't be together because the moment they lock eyes, there's fireworks and you can feel it and there's chemistry and you're like, these two people being apart feels like a curse.
I will say, I was not charmed by Jacinda in this episode, but I was not annoyed like I usually am.
You know why? She talked less. I had the same feeling. And most of it was Henry talking and Jacinda, which spawned a little bit. But it wasn't like, she was never leading the dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they pivoted and went, let's just make her a responder. Even in the past, when they're fixing the motorcycle, it is mostly Henry carrying the conversation. And Jacinda's like, oh, okay. But like, it's Henry, Jacinda. Henry, Jacinda. It's not a back and forth the way that, like, when you think of like how Regina and Robin conversed, it was always back and forth. So that, I'm like, and this feeds into my third point. If we just replace all the scenes where Henry looks at Jacinda and asks her out with a date and put Tiana there instead, Like, for a couple reasons. One, I think Tiana is a different story and is more interesting. Two, I think Dr. Facilier has been a better villain. Like, I don't need to see another Lady Tremaine.
Yeah.
Also, does this Lady Tremaine, like, where you're positioning her, been there, done that as well?
It's true.
So, I want more Tiana.
I agree. We didn't get any.
None.
Zero.
Right after they opened the food, like, I get if both of them were there.
Well, the food truck isn't open.
But, like, they're fixing it. They're working on it. Like, they should
Why
both...
wasn't she fixing it?
Why wasn't she... And let's say she's working somewhere right now to build some money.
Or
Fine.
she's procuring all of the things that they need to put inside of the food truck to make it a food truck and
Sure.
not a drug truck.
You know what she is? She's bribing all of the officials to look the other way right now so that they can do the food truck that was a drug truck.
Sure.
I think I have one last thing on like, and then we can go to questions and lines. Rumple, for the first time, mentions that he wants to remove the power of the Dark One. We've never heard him say that before. Mm-hmm. So we've said that he wants to get rid of the tether of the dagger.
That's true.
But he's never actually said, I want this power gone.
Or to, like, pass it on.
To pass it on the right way. That is a huge step for
That
Rumple.
is a really big step.
It was also very nice to see Rumple and Regina. Once again, I've always said, whether it's the car conversation from the curse, like, those two not being, like, you know, we've argued many times about energy, but, like, when they are just at their, like...
Oh, yeah.
Teacher, mentor, friend, frenemy, whatever you want to call that stage. Their conversations are just always good. Mm-hmm. And, like, this one was, like, both of them have grown in ways that are, like... Now, granted, he, like, what, 100 years or whatever it was with Belle. It's been 15 years. But, like, they come back to each other and they're just, like, old friends catching up. And I was like, yeah, I forgot how much I missed Rumple and Regina.
I really like them together. That is actually one of the main things that I think that Ivy should be worried about. But, I mean, she doesn't know. Maybe she doesn't know that Weaver is awake, but holy shit, Regina and Rumpelstiltskin are awake.
So I think her plan makes a ton of sense as long as Rumple is asleep.
Yeah.
If it turns out that she is the one who cursed everyone, she's got an enemy.
Yeah.
A bad enemy.
For sure.
Okay, I got 3 questions. First one. Regina, why the fuck would you tell Drizella about the Dark Curse?
I don't know. It's a great question.
Like, we talk about the Dark Curse as, like, the worst thing that can happen. It is legitimately talked about as just a terror. Wait, the Black Fairy also cast the Dark Curse, didn't she?
Yes.
So we've done this. This is number 7.
Yeah.
Or 6 or whatever we're at. Too much.
Yeah.
But, like, you can't... Something that evil and powerful, you just can't tell her about that.
Yeah.
If she finds out on her own one thing, but you can't be the one to reveal this to her. What were you thinking? We talked about this, and I think we came to the conclusion, was Ivy manipulating the flower that was capturing her? Which, that thing was horrific, by the way. I hate Venus flytraps.
Oh, yeah, they're really scary. I mean, that's not what Venus flytraps look like.
Well, in media they
You mean carnivorous flowers?
Correct.
Yeah.
And then, who, as the viewer, should I be rooting for in the Drizella versus Lady Tremaine fight?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Same.
I mean, Drizella, I guess. But...
Like, Cora and Regina, obviously Regina.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I feel that way about this.
Yeah.
I have 3 lines.
I also have 3. When Lucy is talking to Henry and Ronnie about the picture, and she's like, oh, okay, so this is Henry as a child, so that means that this must be Regina Mills, the evil queen. And Ronnie's delivery of the evil queen was priceless.
She looked so offended.
So offended.
Also, it reminded me of 2 other lines from back in the day. One, can we just, like, enough with the E word? And then, well, is there a dwarf named Evilly running around?
Yeah.
I had that same line, so I'm going to go to the follow-up one. I love the Regina and Henry are walking, talking about how they just got pizza. Then she goes, oh, also it's by, the food truck, go ask her on her date. Now, be charming and don't slouch. Doesn't matter how old Henry is, she's always going to correct him on his posture.
It's great.
And be charming is a nice little nod to his grandfather.
I really liked this line from Weaver when he was talking to Ronnie. He asked, where's your new pint-sized partner? And I like the alliteration, but also it's just kind of, like, we know how Rumple is, like, charmed by children. Like, He likes children. And this is his great-great-granddaughter?
Oh, fuck! Don't do this! Okay, hold on.
Yeah, it's
Rumple is...
No, it's his great-granddaughter.
It's his great-granddaughter, because
Yeah.
Rumple is Henry's grandfather.
Yes.
See, now this gets even more confusing when you remember that Henry is technically Regina's stepbrother.
Yes. No. Step-nephew.
No, they're in the same tier.
Well, because Regina is Snow's stepmother.
That's right, it's Emma. Emma, yes.
But
It's his great-granddaughter.
Yeah.
Which means this is Pan's great-great-granddaughter.
Correct, yeah.
Oy vey.
Whoa.
The trees make no sense. Staying on the same group of people, but not Weaver and Ronnie, now Regina and Rumple. Rumple talking to Regina saying change is inevitable.
Mm.
Which feels like the theory of this show.
Yeah.
People change. Not always for the better, but everyone changes.
Roger's playing footsie with me under the table.
Honest to God, I have no idea how people flirt like that, because that to me has never felt seductive, and the look you gave me when I accidentally touched your foot is, what the fuck are you doing? So how does one naturally do that in a way that people are like, oh, now I want you, as opposed to, why are you touching my fucking feet?
Yeah.
Footsie, that must be lost to time.
But yes, change is inevitable is a change for Rumple.
Well, I don't know that he actually never believed that change was inevitable. I think that's a bigger change for Regina.
Yeah.
Because I think she believed that all she had was what it is in front of her.
It's true.
I think Rumple didn't necessarily believe he would change for the better. I think Rumple always feared he was going to change for the worse. Two favorite moments, unless you have another line. Oh, I thought you already did your third.
Made me cry a little, made me tear up. When Henry and Ronnie are talking at the end and Regina is awake. And he says, growing up an orphan, all I ever wanted was a mom, and I wanted it so badly I gave myself 2. Which is just...
Adorable. I have to be more specific when I'm talking about you. You know what I realized this episode? I just miss Cruella.
Yeah, she's fabulous.
But think about if we're gonna have a villain this heinous, let it just be Cruella. Because we wouldn't blink an eye at Cruella sacrificing someone for someone else. Honestly, we'd blink an eye and be like, "You're trying to save someone?"
So I was at Disneyland last weekend, and Cruella was walking down the street in California Adventure.
Not the actress who played Cruella.
No,
okay, I was you saw Victoria Smurfit?
The character of Cruella. But every time I'm like, she can't be here with all of these children!
Or dogs. Is Cruella... She's evil to dogs, or is she evil to children and dogs?
She's not actually evil to children. I mean, I assume that she doesn't like them, and the live action one, she really doesn't like children.
Yeah. The Glenn Close one?
Yeah, but she's not particularly after children.
Gotcha. She's not like Hansel and Gretel, where she's trying to eat them.
I have 2 favorite moments.
Same. And then I have one ridiculous moment. So why don't you go first?
Great. We just talked about this, but Regina and Rumple's heart to heart was one of my favorite parts of this episode. And I really liked... I think that Regina used to talk about Rumple as being a bad teacher, but I think that she now realizes that that's not true. He didn't know how to tap into magic in a different way. Mm-hmm. And he gives her good advice about how to be a teacher, and she takes it.
I would also argue that, part of the reason... I think this is a true statement for most of the characters, is that we see this in Awake, right? Charming and Snow view Rumple as a cold, soulless bastard who doesn't understand what it's like to have a child out there. Mm-hmm. They don't actually realize the depth of the struggle that Rumple is going through. In many ways, Regina didn't either. And so I think she looked at him as a man who doesn't suffer fools, who is heartless, blah, 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 blah. But he didn't let her in and let her know that he's looking for his long-lost son. Yeah. So I think she viewed him as just being cruel for cruel's sake, as opposed to the fact that he actually had a good and noble purpose behind what he was doing. Mm-hmm. So when she finally realizes that later, she starts to actually understand the lesson. Yeah. I had the same conversation. That was absolutely one of my favorite moments. What's your other favorite moment?
When Ronnie wakes up And the rage and sadness that she is portraying on her face at the same time was like top tier acting.
She is sad. She is mad that she is that sad.
Yeah.
And then she realizes who caused it and immediately goes for a kill.
Well, and there's that episode where she talks to Emma about, like, how hard it is to, like, pull back on her instincts to just, like,
after Robin dies. Yeah. The evil queen inside.
And you can see it on her face. Like, she's like, I just want to fucking murder Ivy.
She is not here to pull back. She wants to kill her.
Yeah.
Like, when she says Drizella, the evil queen has arrived, and she wants to murder her. And I'm not entirely sure if she didn't have magic. She might not have.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that... We still don't know, like, whatever is causing this situation. But, maybe she can't kill her.
I don't know. Well, I don't think she has her magic.
Yeah, well, that's definitely
I think
true.
she's just not physically able to kill her. Though, boy, if she had that baseball bat, she might have tried. Those I 100% agree with that. Both of those were my favorite moments as well.
Great. I have 2 ridiculous moments.
Same.
I agree that Lady Tremaine is worse than Cora in terms of, like, how evil she is. Like, her intentions are awful. But I find it sort of ridiculous that I'm supposed to believe that Lady Tremaine is as powerful as Cora.
Yeah, that does... I don't know that they're saying that she's as powerful, but she does seem to have enough magical abilities that she's within the discussion.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I don't get it. She has not proved to me that she's that.
But we see
and clearly she's not, because she like thinks that she cast this curse and she didn't. That would never happen to Cora.
No. No! I mean, but again, it shouldn't. Cora was a much higher magic user and trained for many more years.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit... so my first ridiculous moment is along the same lines, but like... Lady Tremaine was honestly going to sacrifice her daughter to save her other daughter.
Yeah.
That... Like, I'm not saying it's not a thing that there aren't parents who would do that, but like... That's ridiculous on a whole new level.
Yeah, it is.
And I guess more so my issue is that, like, if you hate Drizella this much, I'm not entirely sure that the Jacinda and Tremaine rivalry even matters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it no longer feels meaningful that you have such disdain for Cinderella, because you have just as much disdain for Drizella.
Yeah.
Like, this is confusing now.
It is confusing, I agree.
And I also thought, like, I thought this was going to be better if you had the good sister, the mid sister, and the evil one. Now we just have, like, the sympathetic one, the dead one, and the dumb one.
It's true.
Yeah.
My second one is... And this would have been so much more compelling if we had given it more time. Drizella and Regina have known each other for, like, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, they met briefly when Drizella tried to kill Henry, but she was knocked out immediately.
Quickly.
And then they just met at this tower, and Regina taught her magic for, like, a few minutes, and now this is happening. And, like, there's a lot there about how they, like, have some shared... Like, Regina can see herself in Drizella, etc. But it's, like, really hard to be emotionally invested because they don't know each other at all.
Yeah, they definitely forced the connection here.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't blame Regina for being like, oh, a girl is in danger and seeing herself in Drizella. And I think what Rumple smartly points out is that, like, well, you've also been here. You know damn well that you would have never gotten away from Cora without Cora letting you away.
Yeah.
So, like, Regina, you should know better.
Yeah.
I think this is where a Zelina would have made more sense, or, like, even a character that we've seen just a couple times before, but, like, they have some built-in backstory.
Or just give them more time.
More time. Let a few months transpire. Yeah. Something else.
Yeah. Especially because it's a flashback. Like, the flashback can take place over months.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would appreciate if they gave me more time than just one episode, but at least you could build it into the chronology of the story.
Yep. You remember the old McDonald's commercial, Do You Believe in Magic? Because I hope you do, in a land without magic. Yeah. Magic in a land without magic doesn't make sense. And I'm okay with, again, objects.
Yeah.
Scary captive hostage used magic.
Yeah.
So she's chained up, unable to break free, though she was able to hide, which doesn't make any sense to me. And she can still use magic. Is her magic tied to the garden?
It seemed like she needed natural elements, so like being trapped in this tower is her nightmare.
It's basically the opposite of an amplifier. Like it's absolutely just like
a dampening field.
A dampening field. You just rearrange the deflector shields. We'll be fine.
It'll be great.
I have. Do you have any more ridiculous?
No.
Okay, I have 2 losers, 2 winners, and a question mark.
Okay, I went simple this time. I have 1 loser and 1 winner.
Victoria for the loser or Regina?
No, I have Regina.
Okay.
I don't disagree with Victoria. I just felt... Yeah, I mean, actually, that's very fair.
I haven't said anything. I love this conversation.
I almost put Regina... I almost couldn't put Regina because her Lana Priya's acting in this episode was so good. But
she's in a bad
the,
spot.
like, sorrow on her face. Yeah, she's in a bad place. And she... Also, I mean, I don't know what happened in the flashback after the like events of this flashback, but she likely feels responsible for this situation because she activated Drizella's magic.
I had Regina as a winner because of the wake up.
Oh, you have her as a winner.
I had.
Okay.
But then when I thought about it, and which is weird for an episode where someone wakes up, she's in a bad place.
Yeah.
Like, yes, she got her memories back. But, like, there's something dangerous that she is terrified about. She's under Ivy's thumb.
Yeah.
She has to do a thing to Henry that I know she doesn't want to do. She's not in a good place. Victoria is in a very bad spot. And she doesn't even know she's in a bad spot. And we're not even talking about the fact that Rumple's awake. I have those 2 as losers.
Yeah, I agree on Victoria. I didn't originally write her down, but because my winner is Ivy... Mm-hmm. I think that it makes sense that Victoria is a loser.
For every Ivy victory, Victoria is a loser.
Yeah. I'm still very concerned about the fact that Ivy doesn't know that Rumple is awake, and I think that that's a problem that she did not anticipate. But she facilitated this whole situation and apparently cast a hero-proof curse.
I'm also more scared about scary captive hostage woman than I was before because, like we said before, when Rumple was in jail, it was because it was where he wanted to be, not because you wanted him there.
Yeah.
If this woman really has magic, I don't buy that she's in jail because she doesn't want to be.
Yeah. Well, and I'm, like, even more curious about this woman now, too, because clearly Victoria hates this woman and has her captive on purpose. Mm-hmm. And Ivy looks for ways to make Victoria upset, so she's teaming up with this woman that Victoria doesn't like. Mm-hmm. But I don't quite understand their dynamic.
I had the odd feeling that the scared captive hostage is manipulating Drizella. Mm-hmm. Because typically, Rumple has said this, revenge is an easy way to manipulate someone. Mm-hmm. And Drizella is so singularly focused on getting back at her mother that she's willing to do anything and team up with the wrong person. Like, she's probably getting played. But for now, she's a winner. There's no question about that. Who's your other winner?
No, I only had one.
Okay. I put Henry here as a winner. Now...
He got a date.
We got a date. Henry does all the things that Henry needs to do, both in the past and the present. There are some things that might be bad for him down the road. I'm assuming whatever Regina is terrified about affects Henry.
Yeah.
The only way you would do it is that something bad is going to happen to Henry. But I also like that, like, him and Regina are in, like, the right spot, strangely enough, in the past.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, you're the first person who loved me, you're always going to be my mom. Like, even though she's, like, worried that he doesn't need her anymore, he's like, I'm always going to need you at some degree, which is the correct dynamic between those two. I also kind of like his dorky attempt at asking Jacinda out. Like, it's fun. And it works. I don't know that I like that it worked, but it worked. So, I got no real beef with Henry on this one. My question mark was Rumple.
Oh. Yeah. I think nothing, even though he was in the episode, nothing in the episode is from his perspective, so it's, like, hard to know what he's trying to do now.
I mean, so the interesting thing is that we know that he's looking for something. Regina being awake, so I will say the thing that he gets that is big is the favor from Ronnie.
Yes.
Which would be an okay favor, but now Ronnie is Regina.
Yeah.
Now that's a huge chess
favor.
piece. Like, being able to have the evil queen in your pocket, that could be useful to him. And then, did Ivy screw Rumple over?
What do you mean?
Like, we have been asking, why is he here?
Oh, uh-huh.
If Ivy cast this curse, what would compel her to bring Rumple? That doesn't make sense
It
from her
doesn't.
perspective because she doesn't hate him.
Yeah, I mean, or maybe she does.
Or
and
maybe
we don't know.
she does? Like,
Yeah.
that just seems like such a strange move. Because, like, if she had left him out of this curse, he's still going to be looking for whatever he needs to look for and not be a thorn in her side. If you bring him, he's going to get pissed off at you.
Yeah.
Don't understand why she would do that. Yeah, so that's why he was my question. Like, he did get something valuable.
That's fair.
And he does do, I don't know if it's the right thing or not, but, like, he just gives Ronnie the info. Like, he knows it's about Regina. He knows it's correct. He doesn't screw with her. He doesn't lie to her. He doesn't manipulate. He just goes, here you go. Here's your info. You asked for this.
Yeah, it's true.
And he gives it to her. I'm changing from a question. I'm adding him.
All right.
I'm just giving it to him.
Well, next week we're going to watch Eloise Gardner is the name of the episode. So we're going to get a solution to this really slow missing persons case.
So we're not getting the Lady Tremaine episode next. I am actually excited for this because I want to know who the hell is Eloise Gardner and why is Hook so enthralled with her?
I am not sure that we are not getting...
You think it's both?
I think it's both.
Interesting. Usually...
The picture on the thing is a... I don't know.
I would be surprised if we got both, because usually you flesh those out pretty heavily.
That's true, it's true. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering. But regardless, excited to find out about Eloise Gardner.
It's going to be... Yeah. I think that... Obviously, we know all these plots will eventually tie together. So I'm very curious to who the hell is the missing girl.
Yeah.
And is the missing... My first thought is the missing girl is actually his daughter.
Maybe.
Which would make sense why he has an obsession with finding... Why Rogers would be obsessed with finding this missing girl, because Nook is obsessed with finding how to get back to his daughter. So it does make a natural connection.
Well, please be sure to join us next time when we watch Season 7, Episode 7, Eloise Gardner.
We'll see you next time.